I ran 69 miles around the Isle of Man. That was in 2024. I thought it was about time I challenged myself once again. So this time I'll be walking 85 miles around the Isle of Man. So I made the decision to sign up to the Parish Walk. Now, if you're from the Isle of Man, you know exactly what the Parish Walk is. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. Going on training so far, walking endurance impacts you a bit different to running endurance. I can tell you that. So, what exactly is the Parish Walk? Okay, let's start with a little bit of a history lesson. The Parish Walk goes back to, I'm reading this by the way, so bear with me, to 1852. It was reported in the Manx Sun, a story published called A Summer's Day Journey, which told of John Cannell of Douglas, who came up with the idea of touching the doors of all 17 churches around the Isle of Man. He rode round on horseback. He set off at 7 o'clock on an evening on July the 23rd and headed north. So the opposite way to the current Parish Walk. So yeah, it goes back to 1852. We don't really start seeing a more modern version of it, the way we see it now, until 1913. The Isle of Man Examiner newspaper published an article which detailed the exploits of Anderson and Cannell 25 years earlier. The newspaper article inspired a committee of Douglas men to promote a race under the same conditions. So yeah, not until 1913. And then, yeah, all the way up to 1960 is the first of the, how we see it now, how it's done now. 1960 was the first modern actual race of the Parish Walk. So yeah, it's got a long history on the island. It's got a lot of support on the island. Very cultural significance on the island. So yeah, this information is all available on parishwalk.com. So if you're interested in the Parish Walk and the history of the Parish Walk, go and visit parishwalk.com. So it starts on June the 20th. It's a 24-hour event. You have 24 hours to complete it, starting at 8 o'clock on the Saturday morning, runs through till 8 o'clock the Sunday morning. As stated, it's 85 miles in total around the island, starting at the National Sports Centre, heading south and around, and yeah, you can see from the map the places you visit. So yeah, it's an endurance event. It's hard going. It's not exactly flat in places either. There's a bit of a gradient involved, so it's going to be a hard event. I'm confident I can do it, but I also know the pain that is coming. It's going to be difficult. You also have a lot of rules to follow as well. You know, it's a walking event, so if you get caught running, you get red carded 3 times apparently. You can get kicked off. So yeah, it's I'm not going through all the rules. There's loads on the website. Go and visit the website. There's loads of rules on the for this event. But yeah, if you're interested in the Parish Walk, go and jump on the website. Go and read the rules, because there's quite a few you need to be aware of. And it's not just a case of it being a 24-hour event. You have cut-off points for each church you need to get to. If you're not there by a certain time, that's your walk over. There are feeding stations and the like around the course. The toilet, obviously toilet stops and everything else. A lot of people have a vehicle that follows them around, their support crew as well, which is allowed. So yeah, that's it. It's called the Parish Walk because you start in one place and you walk to each parish on the island, touching the doors of each church and go on to the next one. And you do that until you completed 85 miles. That's basically it. Walk, 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 and walk some more. Yeah. So why the Parish Walk? Because a number of reasons. One, I never used to be as slim as I am at the moment. I'm still trying to get back to how slim I was into 2024, but before that I was a lot bigger. So yeah, the training side of things helps keep the weight in check, helps make sure that I don't go too far the wrong way and end up back where I was. There's also the mental health side of it. Having spent years living with depression, been in some very dark places. Again, the training side of things, the physical aspect of it, I learned a long time ago that it really helps keep a certain amount of mental clarity. Really helps any sort of slide into those dark places again from happening. There's the fact I'm a dad, and it's nice to show my son that I'm not just one of these dads who sits on their arse doing nothing. There's the charity I'm trying to raise money for. I always like to attach a charity to anything like this. So yeah, there's a number of reasons, and just to say I did it, just to look at a challenge, go, I'm going to do that, tell everybody I'm going to do it, and then go and do it. Yeah. There's also the fact that I live on the Isle of Man, been here for for nearly a year and a half, and the Parish Walk is quite a big thing on the island. A lot of people talk about, have you done it? Are you going to do it? When you're going to do it? I've been asked many times by people, are you going to do the Parish Walk? Yeah, it's got a big thing within the community. So it'd be nice to be part of that, to say that I am part of the people that have completed it. So yeah, there's a number of reasons why the Parish Walk. Okay, training. I will start by saying I ain't no coach, no expert, and I'm not trying to be. This is just what I've been doing, what I've been concentrating on, and I think it's where a lot of people who do the Parish Walk fail. They don't prepare enough. I feel like a lot of people enter it and think it's just walking, I don't need to train that much. Yeah. Well, for me, two main areas I've been concentrating on: time on feet and strength. Been doing a lot more gym work around strengthening certain areas of my legs, the glutes, calves, hamstring, because I'm looking at walking for about 20 hours on a day. I'm hoping for a sub 20. That's gonna give my legs a pounding. I am going to be in bits, so I need to get my legs as conditioned as possible before the day. And I can tell you now, as somebody who has done endurance running, endurance walking, my God, it's so much harder. I don't know why, but it is. Maybe it's just a me thing, but training for a long walk feels a lot harder than training for a long run. I don't know if it's because you're taking a lot more steps when you're walking compared to running. The length of time you're on your feet compared to running. So if I run a half marathon training, I'm looking at hour and 40, hour and 50 on a good day. If I walk half marathon, I'm looking at 3 hours 15, 3 hours 30. Yeah. So you're nearly like doubling the length of time you're on your feet. I'm finding it a lot more difficult. The impact on the legs, I can feel it a lot more. So if you are training or looking at training for the Parish Walk, I would suggest don't worry about so much the distance you're walking, worry more about the time on your feet. My longest walk so far in training has been 5.5 hours. I need to get that up to probably about 8-hour walk before at least one 8-hour walk before I partake in the Parish Walk. And also say the strength training, doing lunges, weighted lunges, moving lunges, Bulgarian split squats, hip thrusters, any calf raises, weighted calf raises, anything that I can think of to strengthen certain areas of my legs. So yes, and as I say, a lot of walking. So that's my training. What is it you do? What have you been doing? And if you're interested, my shoe of choice is going to be Brooks Glycerin Max. I am going comfort, definitely, on my feet for that length of time. I think cushioning is going to be key. So yeah, this is going to be at least one pair. I might take a couple of pairs with me. The old sweaty feet and all that lot, so I'll be changing socks and potentially changing footwear, but I will be looking at max cushioning throughout. Let's talk recovery. This is what recovery looks like for me. Lying in the bath as hot as I can take it and just relaxing the muscles, getting rid of some of the aches and the niggles and just relaxing. You've also got to consider making sure your diet is okay, making sure that you're getting enough carbs to fuel each training session, making sure you're getting enough protein for muscle repair, make sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you're getting enough rest between training sessions. All those things you've got to consider if you're training for an endurance event. If you're training for the Parish Walk and you're training to complete the full 85 miles, you're going to be putting your body through a lot. So recovery and diet is just as important as the actual training sessions. So if you've got any questions about my training, so I'm not a coach, I'm not trying to be an expert, but I do have a little bit of experience in training for endurance events. Or if you've got questions about my life on the island, drop me a comment, I'll try and answer. If you like this sort of content or just island life content, drop a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. See you soon.